Hello, my name is Dylan, Beast High Tower, and today we are going to do a 5.2 two-handed Death Knight rotation, reforge, and pretty much everything guide. So we're going to go over how to play your tune and to effectively get the highest amount of DPS that you can with this character. So right now we're looking at the Raiders target dummy, or training dummy or whatever, and we're just going to immediately see what kind of DPS I can do. So I'm going to pop all my cooldowns straight up, go in there and just start race some havoc. And I will tell you the rotation, and I will tell you everything that you need to do in your best way possible to get as high DPS as I have. As you guys are watching, I can just go over a few things. I will say that on some fights you are going to need the extra DPS, so potions will come in very helpful ways. So buy them, farm them, ask your guildies for them, do whatever you have to do to get pots. Don't use them in LFR though. Looking for looking for retards is not the place to use the pots. So we're just gonna show you guys right here. As you can see, all my ghouls are dead except for my one, who is about to despawn in 5, 4. I'm still doing nearly 30,000, and one of my diseases almost popped off. And then this one just spawned right down here, the Zandalari. So, and then my pod is up, and we're just gonna finish it up real quick. And as soon as everything gets their last proc, everything's done here. I'm going to end the fight at 121,000 damage as it slowly decreases because I'm no longer attacking. But during that fight, I believe I saw myself go up to around 170 and maybe 160. I wasn't keeping my eye on it too much, but we fought for about 2 minutes. I mean, this has a 2-minute cooldown, and I procced it at the beginning, so it was about 1 minute and 40 seconds that we fought. So looking at that, let's do fight 1. I've done this fight numerous times against this target dummy. That's 4,000, 124, another 4,000, 117, and this one was 117. So I have done from a range of about 100, let's say 115 to around 128 final for this fight for just the dummy alone, without any buffs except for my alchemist strength flask, which is only 320 strength, the equivalent to one extra gem, one extra serpent's eye, I mean. And so right now we're just going to go over what you should be using and why. For your meta gem, you're going to want a reverberating primal diamond. That's the 216 strength and 3% increased critical effect. And you're going to want to use, for any red sockets or sockets where you don't need specific gems, like for blue sockets you would normally use purple, strength, and hit. If you don't need the strength and hit, use the strength. Just straight up use strength. For your enchants on your shoulder, you're going to need the 200 strength and 100 crit that comes from Inscriptionists, and I believe it is the Tiger Fang. Do not quote me on it though. And as you can see, I don't need the hit, so I just use another red socket. Next, on your back piece, you're going to want to but if you do gem it, you probably want to do strength. But you're going to want to enchanted critical strike. On your chest, or on my chest here, I have a lightning wild jade because I needed the extra hit and I needed the haste, and I need the strength. So I think I'm actually going to change that to a what is it called? Imperial Amethyst. I almost said Shadow Spinel, and I knew that was not the right one. That's from a different X-Back. And I'm probably going to change that to a Imperial Amethyst also for the hit, just because I'm just under the hit cap. Now moving on to back to your chest with your enchants, you want the 80 all stats. On your bracers, you want 180 strength. Weapon, you want the Rune of the Fallen Crusader. On your hands, you either want the 170 haste, 170 strength, 170 mastery, and if needed, and you're really far off from your expertise cap, the expertise. Next, on your belt, you're going to want to use the belt buckle, the living steel belt buckle. You have to have it. Next, on your legs, you're gonna need the Angerhide leg armor. That's, I believe, is the name. It's strength and crit. And on your boots, you're gonna want Pandaren Step, which is mastery and minor speed increase. On your rings, if you can enchant your rings, you're gonna want to use strength. So that is your enchants. With your reforging, you're gonna want to hit your 7.5 hit cap, 7.5 expertise cap. Then you're gonna want to do haste, mastery, crit. Now if you rather do mastery, haste, then crit, it's up to you. There's two versions of the build, but I prefer to do the mastery, I prefer to do the haste, mastery, crit build. As you can see, looking at my my hit right here, it's 7.44, so I'm 0.06 away from the hit, which is really just 1 gem away. My expertise is 7.31, which is probably also just 1 gem away from hitting it, so I might just put an expertise somewhere in there just to get myself, and it's probably one of the multicolor ones like the purple or the green. So that's my expertise and my hit, so it does factor in why I do so much damage. Granted, I don't have end level tier. I have 1 piece of 522, like maybe, no, 2 pieces, 3, 4. I have 4 pieces, 5 pieces of 522 gear, 496, 496, 496, 480, 483, wherever it is, and then some 502s, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my gear. So I mean, I don't have the best gear, so I'm not gonna do 188,000, 190,000 per boss. But still, I was bursting at around 124, and when I'm fully buffed, I can do around 130. Your DPS will always go up with the more buffs you have, and once you nail your rotation down and when to pop what, it'll work out nicely. Now with your trinkets, if you have usable trinkets, we're going to move on to the rotation right here, but if you have usable trinkets, you want to make a macro that works with your Pillar of Frost, so that it does /use, I believe it's 14 and 13, yeah, 1, 2, 3, no, 14 and 15, use 14 and 15, I'm sorry, /use 14, 15, depending on which one you have your use trinket in, and you're going to do /use, or /cast, Pillar of Frost, /use, 14 and or 15, or whichever one you're going to use, whichever place the trinket's in. If you are an engineer, you're going to want to use your synapse springs, which I don't remember if that's in your hands or not. I don't really remember, but you're going to want to do that also, /use whatever. Google the specific type for it. There is macros for it all over the place. But we're gonna move to the rotation. On the rotation, when you're targeting your guy, you're gonna always want to have your diseases up. So when you're AoE, you're gonna want to use Unholy Blight. But when it's a single target or you're just starting out the fight, use your Outbreak. Your Outbreak will just stay on him for 30 seconds and just let it take away at him. Then you're gonna wanna, whenever Howling Blast procs, whenever it procs, cast it. Whenever Obliterate Frost Strike proc, use it. Preferably if you can on Obliterate. If not, use Frost Strike. Use Frost Strike to dump your runic power all the time. And do what you can to use your Obliterate whenever your runes are up. Next, whenever Pillar of Frost is off cooldown, use it. If you rather save it for your trinket and your synapse springs or whatever you're using to use with it, that's fine, do so. But I like to just use it whenever it's off cooldown, especially since I don't have used trinkets or synapse springs, or anything that helps me out in that matter besides my gems. Use Raise Dead whenever it's off cooldown, always, as well as your Horn of Winter. When you're, let's just show you here, let's watch them. As the diseases are going, they'll tick away for around 30 seconds, I believe it's 29 because they counted at the first second on my UI. When it starts going down, you can notice that you still have 45 seconds left, 40 seconds. You're gonna have a while left to go. If you use Unholy Blight as your talent, you can proc it right at the end, so we'll just proc it right there at the 0-second mark. It'll reapply it, and it stands up for 10 seconds, and it'll keep reapplying it for 10 seconds. So as you can see, it's continuously to reapply it, continuously reapplying it. And then eventually it'll go away, But once this gets down, see how your outbreak has only 12 seconds left, 10, 5 pretty much, it's going to go to 5 right there. You still have 15 seconds on your diseases till they fall off. So just wait for them to fall off before you use your outbreak again. That way you can use your cooldowns accordingly, especially since they are free and do not cost anything. So see, one, bam, there, hit them. And here we go, and it starts all over again. That's how you want to keep your outbreak and your diseases up on them at all times. Moving on from that, you're always going to want to use Obliterate, Frost Strike, Howling Blast, Pillar of Frost, and Power Rune Weapon, Raise Dead, Army of the Dead, Horn of Winter off cooldown. Always, whenever you can. If there's a cooldown on it, use it. If there isn't a cooldown on it, use it. Use it whenever you can. Frost Strike, dump Runic Power. Here, just let me show you. Look, okay. Things are proccing right now. Okay, nothing's proccing. Dump it, dump it, dump it. Dump it. There we go. So now you guys understand that you just dump it all the time. Just doing that, I was doing 90,000 easily. Just by hitting 4 buttons. Well, 3 buttons really. I didn't even use any of my other stuff. We're going to go into my talents real quick, and then we'll do one last test run of my DPS. I use Anti-Magic Shell, Icebound Fortitude, Death Grip, Horn of Winter, Army of the Dead, and Foul Menagerie. The Army of the Dead is so they won't taunt, and these two are just cosmetic. They're just to look cool. If you guys can see it, there's snow flowing around me. It's very small, it's very hard to see, it's just little white. It goes around you when you're out of combat and cast Horn of Winter. Anti-Magic Shell is great for fights where you need to absorb the damage. Icebound Fortitude is awesome because you can use it frequently and you're not the tank, so you can use it whenever a big hit comes out. You can use it more than once. You can use it like 3 or 4 times in a fight because fights can go from like 7 minutes on. 7 to like 10 minutes because that's their enrage timer usually. Death Grip is awesome because you can just Death Grip people if your tank doesn't have really a taunt. Look at this, I am 40 yards, oh wait, let me target him. That would help if I target him. 40 yards away is right here. Right there, that's 40 yards away. So, it helps if you need to pull a mob to your tank, because immediately your tank can just taunt it off of you and it'll, or wait for you to just stop having aggro, which should take you a second, really, it's nothing. So, moving on from there, that's really your glyphs, that's what you should use. Those are the best glyphs, in my personal opinion, for Throne of Thunder 5.2. So now we're going to just go do a quick DPS run again, and I'm just going to show you guys how much I can do. So we're going to hit the Army, then we're going to hit the Raise Dead, Pillar of Frost, Potion, and then we're going to start just DPSing. And then as soon as everything is on cooldown, which everything is, I'm going to pop that. And now I'm dumping all my runic power so I can have my runic corruption stack. Now if you notice, it's at 10. So, there we go. There we go. And we're just going to watch this for another minute. We're going to watch it for another 20 seconds roughly. We're going to do it till my risen ally falls off. So we're watching. I'm doing 175 right now. I'm unbuffed. I've got this one buff and I've got the Horn of Winter buff. I don't have anything else. I don't have the attack speed, the crit, the mastery, or the stats. So I don't have any of the extra buffs. But now it is slowly, as you guys are watching, it's going down, and going down. Which is sad, but you know what? I can't complain because right now he just fell off and I'm ending the fight at 151 is exactly what it was at when I stopped. So 151,000. It's really going to end at 100. Well, now it's starting a whole new fight. It ended at 139 is what officially it ended at, which I cannot complain about. So that is really your Death Knight rotation, and that's the way to do it. It's really how to put out 150,000 points of damage each boss consistently. Sometimes you have to do a lot of movement. There's a lot more movement in this raids, like Tordos and Genrock and whatnot. So it will increase or decrease your DPS. Sometimes there's special things to increase your DPS. Sometimes they hit too hard and they kill the tank, and you really can't do anything about it. Just try your best. Your DPS can always go up. the highest I've seen a Death Knight do on a straight up fight was last night during our raid on Tordos. Our other Death Knight did around 175,000 consistently, and I was at 160k, which, hey, there's a fair amount of gear difference there. I'm at a 505 item level. He's at around a 515, I think, or something like that. He has a 522 item level or 522 weapon, which will of course increase your DPS always. So this is your Death Knight. Last thing is going to be your talents: Unholy Blight, Anti-Magic Zone, Death's Advance, Death Pact, Runic Corruption, and Remorseless Winter. These are the best personal you can have for your rating. Asphyxiate maybe instead of Death's Advance because it has a 30-second cooldown and it acts as another it takes over Strangulate, and it's 30 seconds instead of a minute. Unholy Blight over the other two because it's just reapplying your diseases, and it does it for free for 10 seconds. So, and it works off cooldown with Outbreak. Runic Corruption or Runic Empowerment, it's a personal choice. I like the extra 100% regeneration rate, and I've had it stack up to around 35 seconds before, so it can have its benefits. So thank you guys for watching. This is our 5.2 Death Knight DPS rotation build, glyphs, and everything under the sun. If you need any help, have questions, or any such things, just go ahead, ask away down in the bottom. If you want to know what UI I'm using, just ask away. I'll answer everything, add-ons, everything. So thank you all for watching. This has been a pleasure. Have a great day.